This is Doug Payton from Consider This Podcasting at ctpodcasting.com, and you are listening to Two Dudes and a Ness.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, man? Are you in pain or something?
No? Did I scare you?
It was terrifying.
I was trying to be like a ghost, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. Because we're talking about Friday the 13th today.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought about this a little late, but, you know, we probably should have done this episode that we could release it on a Friday the 13th. Instead of just like a Halloween episode, but...
Yeah. We could have done, I guess, another horror game.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, well.
Whatever, we're not changing it now. Because
You want to change midstream after...
change. Yeah. No. Because I played this game, and I want to talk about this game because it makes me angry.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay?
Do you have any history about it?
And now here's Justin's historical tidbits and trivia.
Sure. So history on this game, we'll just go ahead and throw this out there that this is another LJN game. Not LGN, for those of you that listened to our Jaws episode, and we kept referring to it as LGN. Or I think I kept referring to it as LGN. LJN. Yeah, by default, because I was saying it. But anyway, so another kind of infamous game by LJN. LJN obviously doesn't win any popularity contests when it comes to video games. And this one certainly was not a difference. LJN, just to talk about I wanted to look up why LJN got so many movie franchise names to play, to make games for, because it's like they got so many movie titles, yet none of them were really any good. And I couldn't find anything. Maybe our listeners could enlighten us. Maybe somebody out there has read something out there that knows something, but I don't know why LJN got all these movie titles. Maybe it was nobody else wanted them, or they were viewed as the ones to go to. I don't know. But they continued to get movie titles, and Friday the 13th was no difference. So LJN was formed by...
I have a theory.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear your theory. Yeah.
Okay, LJN was formed by some super rich dude.
Yeah, named Lewis J. Norman.
Okay, yeah, Lewis J. Norman. He's super rich.
It really is his name.
He made his money in oil, and but he really loved movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to make movies, but you know, his advisors said no. It's probably not a good idea to make movies. You know, why don't you take the movies you love and turn them into these newfangled things called video games? Of course, Louis J. He's like, he's probably like 60 years old. He's like, I don't even know what these video games are.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, okay, we'll make video games. So he goes out and he hires all these people to make video games. But he doesn't really hire the cream of the crop. He just hires, you know, he doesn't know who to hire because he doesn't know anything about video games. He's a movie guy and an oil guy. So he hires like oil people to make video games, and then boom, here we go. But he's got enough money to buy up all the licenses to his favorite movies.
Right. But he doesn't know what to do with them. But it's interesting because LJN did not to shoot a hole in your theory.
I can tell you didn't like it. It's okay.
But LJN never made a video game in-house. They always hired out.
That's what I mean. He paid other people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, LJN was a toy company, and then they were bought by MCA, which MCA did have some experience in video gaming with Atari. MCA bought them in 1985, but still, LJN never made a video game. They never made one in-house. They always hired out, and even sometimes they didn't even release the developer that actually created it, but they didn't do it themselves. Kind of like a ghostwriter thing, I guess you could say.
Is it MCA? Is it the same MCA that Leonard Skinner ended up working for?
I don't know.
Song working for MCA.
I don't know. Might be. We'll have to call Leonard. And then MCA sold LJN because there was apparently LJN had made a toy gun that was kind of their money maker. They were the first to make a battery-operated water gun. And apparently there was a fallout in 1987, which I don't know what it was, about toy guns. And LJN stock plummeted. In which then the MCA wanted to dump LJN, and Acclaim bought them in 1990. And Acclaim, of course, the Acclaim bought them after they'd made a lot of these bad games, including this game. And Acclaim kind of used them as they kind of used Ultra as just another name to release more video games. But I don't really think LJN ever released any good games. And actually, if you want to go find this to our listeners, there's a guy named Angry Video Game Nerd. Have you ever heard of this guy, Mike?
Yeah, I have. A lot of people have. I don't really get into him myself, but
yeah, he's a little vulgar. But he writes a lot about LJN and how bad they were, and pretty much rips every game that LJN created.
Not to plug our forum too hard, but there was an interesting conversation started on the forum about LJN.
Oh yeah?
And game. Yeah. There was a pretty little conversation about I don't know, are there any good LJN games out there or something like that?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it in feedback, I guess.
Well, no, I mean we don't have to get to it. I'm just somebody had asked on a forum. I'm just suggesting that people maybe want to go on the forums and and check it out.
Get involved in that conversation. Maybe you like this game. I don't know.
Yeah, some people might. Maybe I do. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not. But anyway, so again, like Jaws, this game was developed by Atlas and released by LJN. And the music was what?
It's kind of surprised me because Atlas normally they're still around. They're still making some pretty good games.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. But no, they made this dud. I don't know. I keep saying dud, and maybe I'm just biased. But maybe you like it. Maybe other people like it.
Maybe I do. Maybe we haven't got to my opinion yet. You're kind of speaking for both of us here.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'll stop that then. Released in February of 1989, and the composer of the music was Hirohiko Takayama. Good old Hirohiko.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for history on this game. Obviously, just again to say, it didn't really do well as far as the ratings went, and critics didn't really like this game as much. And GamePro listed it as the 10th worst video game based on a film, which is highly specific. Writer Christopher Grant commented that the game was more terrible than the deaths of the campers in the first Friday the 13th film, calling it craptacular.
I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, well. However, the Daily News of Los Angeles, it noted it as a hit. So, Daily News of Los Angeles, there you go. Explain yourself. And then I thought this was kind of funny. In June 2013, the National Entertainment Collectibles Association released an exclusive figurine of the video game style Jason with a turquoise and purple color palette. So,
why?
Yeah. Because people were nostalgic for the purple and green Jason, I guess. So,
I guess. All right.
so did you have this game, or did you find it this week, or?
And now, Michael's quest to find the cart.
Anything?
I found it. It wasn't that hard to find. It's pretty easy to find. It's pretty cheap too. That's it. Here's a boring history of Michael's quest for the cart segment. Went to the local game shop. There it was, pretty cheap. Bought it. Came home. Proceeded to set it on fire.
Before you played it?
Yeah. I wanted to make sure. it was good and dirty before I stuck it in.
Okay. You want to see how hardy the cartridge actually
I
was?
performed my my rites, my cultish rites on the game, setting it on fire, doing a little dance. Then I put the fire out, put the game in.
Right.
Hey, I do want to say something. Since the history segment's going to be kind of short this week, and, people are calling us sellouts. All right.
Oh yeah.
Because we had a sponsor last week, and we put a little thing in there like, what are we doing? Listening to the radio? Well, you guys are a bunch of sellouts. And I don't agree. Do you agree that we're sellouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Well, might as well drop another bomb then. People should go listen to Jason Bax's self-made on choice, don't you think?
Sure.
As long as we're being sellouts, we might as well just keep on selling.
Did somebody really call us a sellout? Or are you just saying that?
Nick Stevens called us sellouts.
Oh.
In a joking manner.
Well, that's all right.
I think it was joking. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Which, speaking of Nick Stevens, we haven't released the bonus episode, right? Yet. As of this show, but when this show...
As of recording this show, we have not.
Right.
As of this show's release, we will. If that makes sense.
Well, go listen to that show. It's pretty fun, and you wouldn't even know I was there if you didn't know that you didn't announce me at the beginning of the show.
That's true.
Well, I was on the show as but I never played the game, so it's like, I was just there.
Yeah.
Although those two guys were quickly becoming a couple of my favorites.
Do
I
I
like
know?
Rob and I like Nick. I said those two guys are quickly becoming a couple of my favorites.
Yeah, good guys. Good guys. Even if they do call sellout.
Yeah, and Rob gave you a hard time for not backing anything of his.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I'll back it next time. Promise.
Okay.
So you want to talk about this beaut of a game?
Sure.
The game discussion.
Okay. Well, to kick things off, I'd like to say that I have a manual.
Sweet.
Well, I'd like to say that I have a manual, but I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I'm just kidding. I've got a manual. Of course I've got a manual.
I did read. I like to come into this cold, though. Like, I like to not know what the manual says before we come on the show. But I did read the first little part of it.
Okay.
Accidentally. But
all right, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm not the most scholarly person when it comes to
I know where
English
you're going.
and spelling. Okay. I'm more of a math guy, not really a spelling guy. But how do you spell interactive?
Yeah. What's going on here? Are they trying to say enter this to be? What is? Oh man.
Enter and be active? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it starts with an I, right?
Mm-hmm. Starting off with a bang already.
All right, so there we go. That's good. Never insert your fingers or metal objects into the cartridge. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Good game advice.
Okay. Let's see. The object of the game is simple. You must stay alive long enough to find a way to defeat Jason once and for all. To do this requires nerves of steel as you explore Crystal Lake Campground encountering its many dangers and searching for the weapons and other items you will need to accomplish your fearful task. Friday the 13th is made up of 3 kinds of screens. The map screen shows the location of the counselors during the game. The side view screen is used when exploring outside, and the interior screen is used when exploring inside a room. You switch back and forth between 6 different counselors as you explore and battle your way around the cabins and trails of Crystal Lake. You have to find and equip the counselors with weapons and other power items you'll find along the way. Once you gather enough, you can turn the tables on Jason and begin to hunt him. That's actually a really good description of the game. I think we're done. You want to move on to retrofitted tropes?
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
No, but that's really good as far as describing the game. I think that may be one of the best descriptions we've had.
Yeah. Usually they're way off.
Yeah. This game, they didn't really want to lead you on in this game. You know, it's like, this is what you're doing. If you enjoy it, more power to you.
Yeah. So, going through each level here, I guess.
Yeah, there's the woods. There's 2 wooded areas where you can pick up vitamins and other useful items.
Vitamins.
Yeah, that's where I go to get my vitamins. I go to the woods.
Take your vitamins. Okay.
Go to the woods and take your vitamins, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go to the cave where Jason stores his weapons in a secret hideaway. You know, I always wondered where Jason was coming from. You know,
Apparently a cave.
apparently he lives in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like Batman in a way.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's Crystal Lake, which is the campground.
Uh-huh.
The shores of Crystal Lake can only be reached by rowboat. I didn't know that. I guess there are parts of the game you can only get to by rowboat.
Yeah.
All right, that's the manual. I like it. It's cool. It teaches you how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you
There's the counselors.
pictures of the counselors. Yeah.
Right.
We have
Straight
George.
Individuals.
Yeah, they're all good looking kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chrissy is she's smoking.
Yeah.
I don't remember the movie and if there was a Chrissy in the movie, but she's pretty hot.
It's been so long since I've seen the movie. But Mark looks like I can't think of his name. The guy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. The blonde guy, I guess.
The guy that wears like a neckerchief in Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
don't
wear
know
like a
his
blue
name.
neckerchief.
Okay, let me tell you this. Something that always, for some reason, whenever I play this game, they have Mark and Paul right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I don't know why, I see this, and I see Mark Paul, and I think Saved by the Bell.
Of course. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
So it would be really cool to replace this cast with the Saved by the Bell cast. If there's any coders out there that know how to code games, I would like to see a hack of this game, Friday the 13th, replaced with Saved by the Bell characters. There's enough people, right? There's 6. Let's see. You got Slater, Zach, Screech, Lisa, Jesse, and the hot one.
Kelly Kapowski. Forgot Kelly Kapowski?
Yeah. I didn't forget her. I just didn't have enough time. Enough time to get to her. But yeah, so there you go. You got 6. There's 6 counselors. There's 6 Saved by the Bell people. It sounds like a perfect hack to me if somebody hadn't already done it.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's my idea. There's the bad guys.
Yeah.
I like Jason's mother. Just a severed head.
Just a floating head. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. I like how the zombies come out of the ground in this game. Just straight up.
Yeah. During the day, during the night, whenever. Just
and typically when somebody gets near them.
I like it. Your character has a lot of ups in this game. He or she can just jump over the head.
It's almost like it's reminiscent of Super Mario Brothers 2, like Luigi or the princess, where they jump and they, flurry. I don't know how else to describe it. And they just kind of, they kick their legs,
Yeah. Okay.
You're not
So-
going to read the FCC compliance?
No, it's the same every week.
Okay.
You read it once, you've read it 1,000 times.
Story of my life.
Yep. So, what about your opinions on this game? It sounds like you really like it.
Well, it started out, so I sat down, I never played this game, I started to play it this week, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is all about. Well, first of all, and I wanted to play it without, looking up anything on how to do anything, but then I just found myself kind of going in circles and not really knowing what to do. So I had to kind of look up what to do. First of all, I guess you're throwing rocks at the beginning before you find knives.
Yep.
But I thought they were soccer balls. It just, for some reason, it looked like a soccer ball to me. And I was like, what would a soccer ball do to anybody? It's just going to bounce off of them. Another
That's
thing, why in this game are there... So this is a camp for kids, right?
Yes.
Why are there so many weapons just hanging around?
I don't know, they're just floating in midair, too.
Yeah. It's like, shouldn't these things be at least tucked away somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, here, my first thoughts when turning on this game and playing this game is how did Nintendo let this pass their, seal of approval test? This is a game where you're trying to save kids from being murdered by Jason.
Well, yeah, and here's another kicker. I'm gonna go screen share here in just a second because I want to show you this. Because this right here is so disturbing. Right here, when you lose the game and you get this screen, when you die,
Mm-hmm.
you and your friends are dead. Game over.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. It's kind of to the point there.
Mm-hmm.
The opening screen has a knife stabbing Jason in the eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just feel like Nintendo kind of, I don't know, it's weird that they let this game go. Because they're back in this day, they were really kind of particular about what they let pass through,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Again,
So the whole
LJN maybe
murdering
gets-
kids thing, You think LJN just gets a pass? Had they already done a bunch of games at this point?
Yeah, they actually had because this one came out in 1989, and I know Jaws was 87, Karate Kid, all those other games were before this one. So they've
Maybe
created
they
a lot of
just built
games
up
already.
maybe they just built up this reputation with Nintendo, where Nintendo's like, yeah, we'll give whatever you give us, that's good.
So I don't know, but anyway, so I also want to, while we're getting started out here, talk about the. Sorry, I'm going to walk and talk. I got to move to my office, but
That's not you're not pulling a car, are you?
no, I won't pull a car on camera.
I mean, you can if you want.
That turned it into a totally different show. But the music. At first I was like, okay, the music is pretty good, but then it gets really annoying really quick.
Yeah, I had the exact same thoughts when I was first playing the game. For the first 15 minutes, I was like, this music is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just the same thing all over and over and over and over again. Got really quite annoying.
And my theory on that is, they actually did it. It was actually kind of a genius part of this game, was to actually make it annoying. Because I was reading this thing. Have you ever seen this movie called, it's called Funny Games?
Yes. That's a weird movie.
It's a creepy movie. It's a very creepy movie. And I was reading this article that was interviewing the director of that movie. I forget his name. I used to know his name. But you know, at the very beginning of the movie, the family's driving to their lake house, and they're listening to like classical music, and then all of a sudden it changes to like death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the director said he did that on purpose because what he was trying to do was make an irritating atmosphere for the viewer. So it's
Are you talking about the American one or the old one?
The American one?
Oh,
I've not
yeah,
seen
that one
it.
was made by Michael Haneke.
Okay. Yeah, so he was talking. Yeah. He what?
I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah. Anyway, so he.
I don't know what that is.
Speaking of haunted.
I thought it was my phones. I pick up both my phones and my desk is still vibrating. Ooh.
So, Michael's very important. He's got 2 phones. Anyway, so he says that like in horror movies, one of the things that you want to do with the music is make it irritating to kind of push the viewer further onto the edge of their seat, you know?
Yeah.
So my theory is, you know, when you're listening to this music and the music's kind of playing, it sounds pretty good, and then all of a sudden it does that like every 10 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Like that was meant to just put you at a irritated state that made the game even more edgy and scary. So I will give them that. And I may be giving them credit where credit's not due. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but I'll give them that.
Okay. All right. I'll let you give them that.
So
I will not give them, however, the layout of the map and level.
yeah,
You can try to convince me all you want that they did this because, you know, in the horror movies, the people can never find where they're going or whatever, you know. When they're being chased by the monster, they can't ever figure out which way to go.
mm-hmm.
That does not make for a very good video game. So I'm not giving them that.
Yeah.
Every time I would go into the forest, I would be lost. I would never find my way back out.
Yeah, the layout, that's what I was kind of alluding to when we first started talking about the game. It's like I tried to play the game without looking up on Google or anything about it, what you're supposed to do, which didn't work out so well. And I think maybe that's product of our time, is we're just lazy now. Like back in the day, if you'd gotten this game, you would have figured it out eventually. But now we're just like, nope, gotta have it instant. I gotta figure out what's going on. I can just hop on the internet and figure it out.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I still think
I agree with you.
Frustrating.
I agree with you that the layout is pitiful.
But in that way, it does kind of remind me of Jaws, because in Jaws, you just kind of wander around not knowing what to do until you figure out what to do, and then it's easy.
Right, and this game seems kind of... I didn't beat this game.
I didn't
but
either.
I did watch some YouTube videos of the game being beaten, and it just seems like it wouldn't take that much. Now, the speed run was 18 minutes that I saw.
Well, I mean, it tells you what to do. It says light the fireplaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't. What it doesn't tell you is that there's only a few cabins that have fireplaces, and there's like 30 cabins you can try. Mm-hmm. So you spend all this time going to all these different cabins that don't have fireplaces.
Right.
And you know, we didn't mention this, but the different people in the game, each has actually kind of has different specialties.
Right.
I didn't really utilize this. I didn't even know it until after I'd played the game. I was doing some additional research for the show, but each character has their own specialty. Like one of them can row faster than the others.
Mm-hmm.
One of them like runs faster. One of them, I don't know what they all are, but I guess I could have looked that up.
So Mark is the best jumper, and he's also really fast.
He's not the black one, is he?
No.
Okay, good.
They
Okay,
didn't go with any stereotypes on this game. Paul was the black guy, and he was just an average jumper and an average runner. So he was just average all around, and his rowing was terrible. So
Is that racist?
it could be. I don't know. We'll let the viewer decide.
Okay.
So yeah, each one can do different things, but I played with Mark a lot, and I think I just played with Mark a lot because Mark is my middle name, so I was like, this sounds about right. So I just played with him without knowing that they all had different abilities until, again, I looked it up.
I think I played with who's the first one on the list? George.
Yeah.
I just played with whoever came first. I played with him a lot. What was his specialty?
George has the second lowest jump.
Great.
He also has poor foot speed.
Okay.
And is poor in rowing, and he is the worst character.
Awesome. No wonder I had such a bad experience with this game.
You're like, this game sucks, but you're playing with the worst character. You're playing with the George Costanza.
This game is so slow. He doesn't jump high enough.
Those
are all my complaints. I guess I'll just go ahead and mark those off my list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're playing with George Costanza. Congratulations.
I like George Costanza. I don't know why I keep trying to bash him.
Well, I love George Costanza, the character, but I'm saying I don't know if he'd be the most athletic person.
I don't know. I've seen him run. He's pretty fast for a big guy.
That's true.
I don't know.
Okay.
Can we give this game a few compliments before we start wrapping it up? You got any compliments you can give it? I've got maybe two.
I mean, I guess the game would be decent. I know I've spent the better part of this half hour bashing it, but it's like, yeah, I guess it could be decent. Maybe I'm just playing it in today's times and not impressed with it, but I don't know. What do you think? What's your compliments?
Well, I like the day to night cycle. I think that's a cool little feature. How it goes from day to night, and then like you get more bad guys, and Jason shows up when it turns to night. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually found the game to be the side scrolling and the throwing and the jumping and that whole mechanic. I found it to be enjoyable. I mean, I thought it was fun to jump around and throw stuff and fight the zombies. I think if it would have just been a straight up side scroller and I didn't have to try to go in all these cabins and figure out where to go, like if I would have just went from level to level as a side scroller with the same mechanic, and then just the final boss was Jason or something, and then after you beat Jason, spoilers, you got to fight his mom or something.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool. But as it is, it's just it's confusing and it's hard to figure out where to go. It looks like they were being too ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had this really good mechanic and this pretty decent game of a side scroller, and then they said, you know what, that's not enough. Let's also make you go on all these little quests and light these fireplaces and go in all these different cabins. And then when you go in the cabin, it's got to turn into like a over the shoulder view that doesn't really work as well as the 2D view, but that's what it's got to do. And then you got to, if you find Jason inside a cabin, you got to kind of do like Punch Out, but nowhere near as good as Punch Out. You know,
right.
So I don't know. I think it's a really decent game in a crappy games package. Or if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they had a good game and they made it worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was a good game that they just made worse by trying to make it do too much.
They tried to get too fancy.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a few, before we move on, I do have a few bones to pick when you actually do fight Jason.
Okay.
So, first of all, and then I'm going to pull up screenshots here for things to talk about. And this one, his machete. Okay, you got the picture yet?
Yep, I see it right here.
Looks like a big toothbrush.
It does.
Okay. All right. So, also, I'm going to go to this next one.
He's big on hygiene, Jason. I don't know if you've ever seen his teeth, but they're immaculate.
Well, you can't see his teeth, but if you did, yeah. The next one I've got here that I have another bone to pick with, or just a joke about, is this one. You still haven't defeated Jason, and he's even stronger. Does Jason look really stronger in this picture?
And now it looks like he's sitting on his tushy.
Yeah, he looks like he's like been beat up, and he looks a little emaciated. Like I don't think he looks stronger. Like you think if you're gonna say, but he's even stronger, you would put like a picture of him like growing or getting more muscular, or at least standing up.
Yeah, just flexing his bicep or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one, when you actually beat the game, and spoilers for anybody who wants to actually try to beat this game, but this is the screen you get when you beat the game, and it is here. You have finally managed to defeat Jason, but is he really dead? We're not telling. And
We're not telling.
well, they say we're not telling, but then they're just like, and not the end, not
And that's almost the same picture as the one where he's getting stronger.
Yeah, just this time he's looking at his feet instead of
his head is slightly turned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, so the cutscenes are pretty hilarious to me. So
Yeah, I like them.
Mhm.
I don't know. We played worse. Deadly Towers was much worse in this game.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, and again that's what I'm saying. That when I was trying to say a minute ago, it's like this game is. It's not the best, but I guess it's not the worst, and we're kind of giving it a bad rap. But yeah, it's not so bad. So,
Okay.
you got anything else to add about the gameplay?
I don't think I do. This
It's
might end up being kind of a short episode.
It's kind of another thing about the gameplay. It's really there's not a whole lot to it. Once you kind of do, it's kind of doing the same thing over and over again. You know, not a whole lot of differences between the levels, and yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Got any
retrofitted trophies?
And here come retrofitted trophies.
Yeah. I
Yes.
got one.
I've got 4 again.
Okay. I've got one, and I'll try to think of another one.
Okay.
You go.
I'll start. My first one is David meet Goliath, and that is defeat Jason with the stone, with only rocks.
I like that. Mine is, oh my god, I'm dying. Oh my god, I'm dying. And this is play the game for an hour.
Okay. That's what you're telling yourself while you're playing. It's like this.
Terrible. Well, it's a mix of between trying the Friday the 13th theme of him trying to murder you and actually having to play this game.
Okay. Cool. All right. I've got one called Counselor of the Month. And in order to become the Counselor of the Month, you have to beat the game without losing any kids.
Oh, okay.
You got another one? You want me to keep going?
Keep going. I'm trying to think.
Okay. This one is that thing cashmere? And that's, obtain Jason's mom's sweater.
I like that.
You got to say it in a very country voice too. It's like, that thing cashmere?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then you want me to go ahead with my last one then?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try something with my last one here. So, hang on. We'll see if it works. My last trophy is called We Don't Need No Water. Let that burn. Yeah, I used the wrong sound.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, that's light all the fireplaces.
Okay.
I wanted to use a much shorter sound effect, but I clicked the wrong one.
Okay.
I thought I was clicking this one.
Okay.
Oh, well. That's all I got.
And for my beating the game, it is brush my teeth, you will not, and that is beat Jason.
Dirty dentist he is.
Yeah. Okay. What about a rating?
Let's rate the games in Game Rating.
Rating. How about summer camp activity?
I never went to summer camp, so I have to think about this. Let me think about all
I didn't either. Think about the movie Heavyweights or something.
I'm thinking about Salute Your Shorts. I'm thinking about Salute Your
Okay,
Shorts.
Salute Your Shorts, good. Yeah, that's good.
Well, I don't want to give it something cool like
Tangent Salute Your Shorts is awesome.
yeah.
Just just quick aside.
I think it's Teen Nick that is doing they do the throwback. The 90s were awesome at midnight every night. But they don't show a lot of the good shows. They show All That, which was good, and Kenan and Kel, which was good, Hey Arnold, which I liked. But they don't show all of them. I want to see some Pete and Pete. I want to see some Salute Your Shorts. Bring it all back.
So they're not showing the early 90s. They're not showing our 90s Nick.
Right.
They're showing the late 90s Nick.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with arts and crafts.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of arts and crafts.
Because I'm not a fan of arts and crafts. I was never good at arts and crafts, but some people out there like arts and crafts, so I'm going to go with arts and crafts.
Okay. I'm going to go with washing the dishes.
Okay.
This game's a chore.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I could have thought of something where it's oh, it's kind of fun, but it's not. But it's just it's like washing dishes. I don't know. I guess washing dishes could be fun, depending on maybe if you're doing it with somebody and you can chat while you wash your dishes.
I don't think under any circumstance it could be fun.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Washing dishes. You're just two people. Let's say you and I, we're bros.
Yeah.
We're washing dishes. We're chatting it up. We could be washing dishes right now doing this podcast, and it would be fun, right?
Yeah.
Talking about some Friday the 13th. Okay, well, if you're playing the game Friday the 13th, if you're sitting there playing it with a bro or a wife or something, I don't know, and you can chat and play Friday the 13th at the same time, that would probably make it more enjoyable. But if you don't, it's just a chore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's all I got.
All right. Sounds good.
Listener feedback or D-Patter feedback?
Stand back, here comes the D-Patter feedback.
D-Patter feedback. Did you listen to the show last week yet?
Yes. You used Philip Swindle?
Yeah.
And he called us out?
Yeah. We needed to decide. Which, also, he did the thing where he said, if you use this, I'm going to die laughing.
And then we used it. I hope he died laughing. I hope he didn't die.
Yeah. But
Bill, out there, but I hope you got a kick out of it.
Right. I'm trying to pull up feedback here. I don't know if you got it, but I'm trying.
You try. I've got a call.
Okay.
Now I didn't let's see. I didn't screen this call. So if it starts blurting out curse words, then I'll just stop it, I guess. All right, you ready?
All right.
And this I don't know, maybe this has nothing to do with our show, too. Since I haven't screened it, I don't know. This may be like a random call. Here we go.
Hi, my name.
Uh-oh.
Good message.
Hi, my name is Joshua from Missouri, and I would like to know how Friday the 13th is, how do you play it, what's the stuff, how do you do it. So, thank you, and goodbye.
All right. Well, hopefully we answered some of your questions today.
Thanks for calling, Joshua. I don't know how to play this game. Sorry. I wish I could tell you how to do it.
Yeah, you know.
Joshua, if you want to take something away from the show, maybe it's put down Friday the 13th and pick up a different game.
Right. Like Star Tropics or something like we've talked about in the past. It's a good game.
Right.
So, yeah, I would agree with that.
Thanks for the call. You know, I'm a little disappointed in the D-padders now. And maybe it's my fault for asking a little too late. But I asked them to call in with a ghost story. And I didn't get a single call for a ghost story. Because I thought ghost story would be cool. I mean, I got a ghost story. I mean, I could tell. But no reason to kick into a ghost story segment, just me and you. I was hoping to get some calls. At least one, maybe. We didn't even get Jay, or we didn't get Dude J or Dude Upwell. We didn't get nothing.
Well, Peter.
But
Panda,
I did ask kind of late. So
yeah. Peter Panda said, "I'm afraid to tell my story. I only did it once."
Yeah, I know, and I wish you would have called and told us.
Yeah.
If there's still time at the end of the show, I'll tell you my ghost story. It's pretty good.
Oh boy.
It's called Oscar the Headless Hobo.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little tease there.
Now on the forum, it looks like if I pulled it up correctly, we only have one piece of feedback. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Feedback's getting scarce these days.
Yeah, maybe it's because we sold out. I don't know.
Maybe.
So Moosehead Chris said, "Hey fellas, oh the memories with this game. I will never forget when I played this game. I rented this game as a kid on my parents' wedding day. They thought, hey, you kids go rent some games so we can be out all night at the reception. I played it for I think less than an hour, and the first time Jason pops up, the swoosh sound scared the S out of me, out of a 10-year-old me. I stopped and never played it again to this day. The music is so haunting, and still to this day can't forget it. As you know, it never stops." Yes, that music never stops.
We did get one more piece of feedback.
Is Eric Purr still?
Yeah. Do you have it pulled up?
I do. So
The one
who purrs. Yeah, the one who purrs. This game was awful. Well, maybe it was due to the fact that I didn't know what to do. I just wandered the camp, constantly getting murdered. Frustrating. At least we didn't buy this wonderful product from LJN, aka the Rainbow of Doom.
So I guess he's saying he didn't buy it.
No.
He just played.
Right. The Rainbow of Doom.
Yep. That's scary. When you see that LJN symbol, that's scary.
And it's scary that Nintendo I'm with you. I can't believe Nintendo let this pass.
And look at the cover of the game.
Yeah.
We haven't even shown the cover. It's like a bloody, nasty Jason.
You're out of thought. You got it?
Sort of, yeah. There you go. That's a very tiny picture, but
yeah.
Friday the 13th, of scary, bloody Jason.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's wrapping us up here. It's a pretty short show.
Yeah, not much to talk about on this.
Oh wait. I have there's a couple other things that I almost forgot about. One is we got 2 new honorary dudes.
Oh.
People see. Here's the thing. People think we forget, and that we're not watching, but we're watching you people.
Always watching.
We're keeping tabs on you.
Mm-hmm.
And there will continue to be new honorary dudes as long as we continue to get feedback, which is dwindling.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to continue to get feedback and shares and all that good stuff, and we can continue to get new dudes. But anyway, so the new honorary dudes for this episode and for the past, how long has it been since we had one? A month? It's probably going to end up being like monthly. But we got Phil, the no swear dude.
Sweet.
So congratulations to Phil. He's been a pretty big commenter and poster to our wall and whatnot. And he also there for a while was giving us some really good feedback on the forums. So yeah, so Phil, the no swear dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is going to be Dude Jeremy, or Jeremy Fain, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He consistently shares our posts about our episodes and stuff on Facebook. So I want to make him an honorary dude. And I think, now, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the Hunnick Outcast podcast guy. And if he is, then we can change his name to Outcast Dude, which I think is cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy, let us know if you're the Hunnick Outcast guy, then let us know and you can be the Outcast Dude.
Yeah.
Much cooler name. But yeah, congratulations to the two new honorary dudes. And let's see, I got some iTunes feedback too that I've been forgetting about over the past couple weeks. iTunes would quit being so slow. I really don't like iTunes. I don't know if I've said that on the show before. I just really don't like it.
You know what's funny is, first of all, everybody got all upset about the U2 thing. U2 uploaded their album on everybody's iTunes, whether you wanted it or not.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know why everybody got upset. You can just delete it. But second of all, I like the gumption it took to be like, well, we're not only giving this away for free. We are giving this to you. You cannot not accept this.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, well, we got two new reviews and one old new review. All right.
Sweet.
So the first one is from Omega Strain, and he said the title of this is Retro Gaming's Finest. Very happy to have stumbled upon this. Great guys, great show, great guests. I look forward to each and every cast. Thanks, guys. Ever partake in some Game Genie fun? Game Genie's for cheaters, but yes, every now and then. All right, this one's from Derek478. He says, fans of NES rejoice. I have never listened to podcasts much before, but that has changed after hearing the two dudes. Very informative and fun. I found you guys a little late in the game, so I haven't listened to everything yet, but I've been very impressed with the progression of the show. The interview with David Crane was spectacular. Whether you are a hardcore NES collector like myself, or just want to go back and relive your famous NES games from time to time, this podcast has it all. Keep up the great work, dudes. So that's cool. He never really listened to podcasts till he found us. I like that.
That's awesome.
Might I suggest you look up other shows on the Retro Junkies Network?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's a few good ones. And a lot of duds. I'm just kidding.
I'm joking. Joking. I mean, you'll always come back to us, but
yeah. I mean, we're the best.
Right.
We're gonna get some hateful messages from the fellow Retro Junkies now. No, really, go check them all out. You might find some you like. And then finally, we have one called Happy Now, and that is from Fish Lips J. It's a 5-star. It says, changed my review. They got better. But Justin still has issues with Japanese names.
Hey, that's my thing.
Yeah, that's your thing, all right.
All right.
Okay, you want to do your thing,
All right, you can find us on every social media outlet there is. Facebook, obviously, like us on Facebook. We get a lot of listeners, but the Facebook likes are still in the 300s. I think we could probably pump that up. If you don't have Facebook, maybe you should start a Facebook just to like our page. Go on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We're on there. We're on, like I said, we're on every social media. Also, you can go to twodudesandannest.com or nesdudes.com, whichever you so choose. And there's going to be articles that are continuing to pop up there that are not all going to be wrote by us. There are going to be some guest writers coming on there that I think you'll enjoy. All the ones that have been on there so far have been really good. And you can also listen to every episode that you want, all our old episodes on that page as well. So check it out and check us out, and hopefully you will like what you see.
I think they will. All right, here comes music for next week's game. Goodbye, everyone.